Charlize Theron was born on August 7, 1975, in Benoni, a small mining town near Johannesburg, South Africa. From the very start, her life was tied to the land. Her parents, Gerda and Charles Theron, ran a road construction business that was one of the largest in the region, but they still lived a life that demanded hard work and discipline. Growing up as an only child on a farm meant Charlize spent her early years surrounded by horses, cows, and muddy boots. By the age of 5, she was already helping with chores, and by 10, she could drive a tractor. The farm was not only her home, but also a business. And from a young age, Charlize witnessed the challenges of adult life. This upbringing shaped her resilience and determination, qualities that would define her later in life. Alongside this toughness, Charlize developed a delicate side. She fell in love with ballet at the age of 6. Her parents supported her passion by driving her to lessons, sometimes far from home, and she watched any dance videos she could find repeatedly, practicing each movement until it felt natural. By age 12, her talent was clear, and her teachers recommended a boarding school in Johannesburg that specialized in the arts. Leaving home at 13 was terrifying, but Charlize embraced the opportunity, riding the bus weekly to pursue her dreams. At the same time, her home life was becoming increasingly difficult. Her father struggled with alcoholism, creating a tense and unpredictable environment. By the time Charlize was 15, his drinking had escalated into violence. On June 21st, 1991, an argument led her father to return home drunk and furious, bringing his brother with him. They fired shots at the house, including Charlize's locked bedroom door, narrowly missing her and her mother. Her mother, Gerda, defended them with her own firearm, stopping the threat immediately. Though the authorities deemed it self-defense and did not charge her mother, the trauma left a lasting impression on Charlize. She found refuge in dance, attending the National School of the Arts and immersing herself in ballet, flamenco, and contemporary dance. Dance became a lifeline, a way to breathe and survive emotionally, even as her family situation forced them to sell the farm and relocate. Her dedication to ballet eventually brought her to New York's prestigious Joffrey Ballet School, supported by her mother, who worked tirelessly to make her daughter's dream possible. Charlize's career path was almost derailed at 18 when a serious knee injury ended her ballet aspirations. The injury sent her into a period of depression, during which she struggled to survive financially, at times taking bread from restaurant baskets to eat. Her mother, sensing her despair, urged her to decide on her next step or return home. That decision led Charlize into modeling, a field she had briefly explored at 16 after winning a contest in Italy. Modeling took her across Milan and Paris, earning substantial sums, but it was never her ultimate dream. Her breakthrough came unexpectedly when she entered a Los Angeles bank to cash a $500 check from her mother. The teller refused, and a talent agent named John Crosby, who witnessed her passionate argument, handed her his card. This encounter led to her first acting role in Children of the Corn 3. From that point on, Charlize began identifying as an actress, embarking on a path that would redefine her life. Early roles in films like 2 Days in the Valley and That Thing You Do barely paid her $2,500 each, totaling $5,000 in her first year in Hollywood. Despite the meager pay, Charlize persisted, understanding that these opportunities were crucial to proving herself. Her dedication and courage soon paid off with a role in The Devil's Advocate alongside Keanu Reeves. A vulnerable scene required 14 hours of filming, during which she demonstrated remarkable bravery, earning praise from director Taylor Hackford. The film grossed $130 million worldwide and marked Charlize as someone Hollywood could no longer overlook. Despite this breakthrough, Charlize faced the challenge of typecasting. Casting directors frequently offered her parts where she played the helpless beauty, roles that did not reflect her talent or ambitions. She refused to accept these limitations, showing up uninvited to auditions with full makeup to assert her presence and demonstrate that she belonged. In 1998, she trained for 3 months to work with a giant gorilla puppet in Mighty Joe Young, performing wire work and stunts daily. Despite the film's commercial failure, Charlize's perseverance strengthened her resolve to pursue meaningful and challenging roles. Her efforts paid off in 1999 when she starred as Candy Kendall in The Cider House Rules, a role that required emotional honesty she had never experienced before. Drawing on the pain from her own life, Charlize delivered a performance that earned her a Golden Globe nomination and a significant increase in her salary. This role signaled a turning point. She was no longer simply a pretty face, but a serious actress capable of fully inhabiting complex characters. Charlize's dedication to her craft continued in the early 2000s with a series of challenging roles. In The Legend of Bagger Vance, she portrayed Adele Inver Gordon, a woman fighting to save her family's resort during the Depression era. Her subtle performance drew attention for its emotional depth and screen presence. Sweet November required her to gain weight and simulate a decline from illness, demonstrating her commitment to realism even though it led to her first experience with depression. Seeking to escape romantic typecasting, she took on reindeer games, preparing for the role by training with ex-convicts to understand the mindset and movements of criminals. Although the film was a commercial and critical failure, it solidified her love for immersing herself in demanding characters. Her brief romance with Ben Affleck in 1998 brought media attention, but she remained focused on her career, turning down roles that would exploit her body rather than her talent. The most transformative moment in Charlize's career came with Monster in 2003. Portraying serial killer Aileen Wuornos, she gained 30 pounds, shaved her eyebrows, wore prosthetic teeth, and altered her voice. Charlize spent months isolating herself, studying Wuornos' letters, and training with criminologists to fully understand her character. The physical and emotional toll was immense. The prosthetics damaged her teeth, and her body struggled to recover after filming. However, the performance earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress on her first nomination. Charlize donated her $1.8 million salary from the film to a South African rape crisis center, reflecting her personal connection to the story and her commitment to social justice. This role shattered Hollywood's narrow expectations of female leads and positioned Charlize as one of the most versatile and dedicated actresses of her generation. Charlize's dedication to physically demanding roles continued with films like The Italian Job and Hancock. She trained extensively in martial arts and wire work, performed her own stunts, and endured injuries, including a broken tooth during Atomic Blonde. Her work demonstrated that women could lead action films with the same intensity and skill as men, earning box office success and critical acclaim. Alongside her film career, Charlize became producer, founding Denver and Delilah Productions in 2003. This venture allowed her to influence the stories she told, ensuring accuracy, authenticity, and meaningful content in the films she helped create. Her humanitarian efforts also grew alongside her career. In 2007, Charlize launched the Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project, CDOP, focusing on youth education, HIV prevention, and access to digital resources in Southern Africa. By 2023, CDOP had raised over $2 million, supported mobile HIV clinics, provided computer labs to high schools, and trained thousands of local responders. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, she launched a Together for Her campaign, pledging $1 million for domestic violence relief. This initiative reached over 50,000 people and supported more than 100 shelters, reflecting her ongoing commitment to protecting vulnerable communities. Despite her success, Charlize faced challenges with co-stars. During the filming of Mad Max Fury Road in 2014, she reportedly requested security protection due to Tom Hardy's unpredictable behavior. Hardy frequently arrived late, creating tension on set in the harsh Namib desert conditions, where heat, dust, and exhaustion already made filming extremely difficult. Charlize felt physically threatened during one argument, prompting producers to intervene. Over time, however, both actors addressed the situation, with Hardy apologizing for his behavior and Charlize acknowledging moments she could have handled differently. Their professional collaboration continued, demonstrating that boundaries and safety are essential, even in high-pressure Hollywood productions. Charlize's personal life has also shaped her public image. She adopted her first daughter, Jackson, in 2012 and her second daughter, August, in 2015, choosing to raise them as a single mother. In 2019, her daughter Jackson, assigned male at birth, shared her identity as a girl. Charlize stood firmly in support, advocating for respect and privacy, and used her platform to champion LGBTQ+ rights. These personal experiences intertwine with her activism, reinforcing her dedication to creating safer, more equitable communities. Even in her 40s, Charlize continues to lead physically demanding roles. In The Old Guard 2020, she portrayed Andy, an immortal warrior, performing stunts and sword fights at the age of 45. The film reached nearly 87 million households in its early weeks on Netflix, proving that age is not a barrier to leading action franchises. Her career demonstrates a remarkable combination of physical skill, emotional depth, and social responsibility, inspiring audiences worldwide. Charlize Theron's journey from a small South African farm to international stardom is a testament to resilience, courage, and determination. She faced personal trauma, career setbacks, and physical challenges, yet continuously sought meaningful roles and used her influence for social good. The Mad Max feud illustrates her commitment to safety and professionalism, while her humanitarian work highlights her compassion and dedication to creating positive change. Today, she stands as a symbol of strength, versatility, and activism in Hollywood, proving that true talent combines skill, heart, and integrity. Charlize Theron's career is marked not just by the roles she took, but by how intensely she committed to each role. From her early years in South Africa to international fame, every project she undertook became a personal journey of transformation. Acting for Charlize is not merely a profession. It is an art that requires total immersion. When preparing for a role, she studies every aspect of her character, from physical mannerisms to psychological depth. Her work on Monster demonstrated her willingness to endure extreme physical and emotional change. She gained weight, altered her appearance, and spent months studying Werno's life and behavior. This kind of dedication is rare, and it signals her belief that acting is about authenticity. For Charlize, a performance is not convincing if she does not fully inhabit the character. Her approach to action roles also reflects her meticulous preparation. In Mad Max, Fury Road, Charlize did not simply act out scenes. She became Imperator Furiosa. She trained with ex-military specialists to handle weapons convincingly, learned to drive heavy rigs, and perform physically demanding stunts despite extreme heat and treacherous terrain in Namibia. Each movement was calculated, and her commitment elevated the realism of the film. Yet, the set was a battlefield not only for the actors, but also for their emotions. The tension with Tom Hardy, who portrayed Max Rokitansky, highlights the pressures actors face when combining physical demands with emotional storytelling. While Charlize maintained strict discipline and punctuality, Hardy's improvisational style created friction. Reports suggested that Charlize felt unsafe during certain moments, prompting producers to intervene. This incident reveals an important truth about Hollywood. Behind the glamour, actors often face intense personal challenges that go unseen by audiences. Charlize navigated this environment with professionalism, establishing boundaries while continuing to deliver an award-worthy performance. Hollywood, actresses often face typecasting, and Charlize Theron's early career was no exception. She was frequently offered roles emphasizing her beauty rather than her acting ability. Instead of accepting these limitations, Charlize challenged the industry. She insisted on audition for roles she was initially overlooked for and demonstrated her skill through preparation and confidence. This approach culminated in her role in The Cider House Rules, where she showcased emotional depth and vulnerability, earning critical recognition. Her subsequent choices consistently reflected a desire to push boundaries, whether through challenging dramatic roles, action films, or producing her own content. Charlize's fight against typecasting extended beyond the screen. She actively sought roles that allowed women to display strength and complexity, defying the Hollywood norm of reducing female characters to love interests or decorative figures. Her performances in Atomic Blonde and The Old Guard are examples of her commitment to portraying women as multidimensional and capable of leading action-packed narratives. She often performed her stunts, demonstrating physicality equal to her male counterparts. This approach has inspired a new generation of actresses to demand stronger, more authentic roles in mainstream cinema. Charlize Theron's influence extends far beyond her films. Her humanitarian efforts are deeply personal, rooted in her upbringing and experiences. Growing up in a violent household, she witnessed firsthand the vulnerability of women and children. These experiences informed her approach to advocacy and activism. Through the Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project, CEOP, she has provided HIV testing, prevention education, and digital literacy programs to thousands of youth in southern Africa. Her initiatives focus not only on immediate relief but also on long-term empowerment, training local educators and peer leaders to sustain positive change in their communities. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Charlize's activism adapted to new challenges. Lockdowns increased the risk for victims of domestic abuse, and she responded with a Together for Her campaign. By pledging $1 million and collaborated with other influential figures, such as Margot Robbie, she provided critical resources to shelters and counseling services. The campaign reached tens of thousands of people, highlighting her ability to leverage celebrity status for tangible societal impact. This dedication reflects a rare balance between personal achievement and social responsibility, showing that Charlize Theron is not only an actress, but also a committed advocate for justice and human rights. The feud between Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy during Mad Max Fury Road has been a subject of media speculation for years. The reality, however, goes deeper than simple personality clashes. Filming in the Namib Desert involved extreme conditions, including temperatures soaring above 130 degrees Fahrenheit, sandstorms, and grueling physical demands. Charlize, who treated the set like a disciplined battlefield, clashed with Hardy's improvisational and unpredictable style. Reports suggest that Hardy frequently arrived late, disrupting the meticulously timed shooting schedule and increasing tension on set. Charlize's response, asking for producer support and setting clear boundaries, demonstrates her leadership and professionalism under pressure. The confrontation between the two actors reached a peak during one particularly stressful shoot, where Hardy's later rival led Charlize to publicly confront him. Witnesses described the argument as intense, and Charlize later admitted she felt physically threatened. This incident, while unsettling, underscores the mental and emotional resilience required in high-stakes filmmaking. Despite the tension, both actors ultimately maintained professional decorum on camera, contributing to one of the most acclaimed action films of the century. In the years following, both Charlize and Hardy addressed the feud publicly, acknowledging mistakes and learning from the experience. This resolution emphasizes that even amid conflict, growth, accountability, and professional collaboration are possible. That Charlize's work ethic and dedication to authenticity are perhaps most evident in her physical transformations and stunt work. Beyond Monster and Mad Max Fury Road, she trained rigorously for films like Atomic Blonde, mastering Krav Maga and other close combat styles. She endured broken teeth, strained muscles, and long recovery periods without letting these setbacks halt production. Her commitment to performing her stunts herself not only enhances the realism of her films, but also challenges Hollywood's gender norms by proving that women can lead physically demanding action narratives. This dedication has become a defining feature of her career, establishing her as a role model for aspiring actresses seeking to combine physical skill with dramatic depth. Charlize's approach to stunts is deeply methodological. She studies fight choreography meticulously, trains extensively in martial arts, and works with specialists to ensure safety while maintaining realism. For the old guard, she trained with sword experts and underwent rigorous physical conditioning to convincingly portray a centuries-old immortal warrior. Her attention to detail extends beyond the physical, as she ensures that her character's emotional weight and humanity remain central to their actions. By combining technical skill with emotional authenticity, Charlize sets a high standard for female action stars worldwide. Charlize Theron's personal life demonstrates the complexities of balancing fame, career, and family. She adopted her first daughter, Jackson, in 2012 and her second, August, in 2015, choosing to raise them as a single mother. Her parenting decisions have drawn public attention, particularly when Jackson came out as transgender in 2019. Charlize handled the situation with grace and courage, using her platform to advocate for the rights and dignity of transgender youth. She has consistently emphasized that her children's safety and well-being are paramount, even amid intense media scrutiny. This commitment reflects her values-driven approach to life, showing that her influence extends beyond cinema to real-world impact on social issues. Her family responsibilities coexist with her professional ambitions, demonstrating remarkable resilience. Even while filming physically demanding roles or managing her production company, Charlize prioritizes her children's needs. She has openly discussed the emotional challenges of balancing motherhood with career obligations, offering an honest perspective on the sacrifices and rewards of raising children in the public eye. This balance further cements her reputation as a dedicated, grounded, and socially conscious figure in Hollywood. Charlize's work as a producer has allowed her to shape stories from the inside out. Her production company, Denver and Delilah, has enabled her to advocate for authentic, female-driven narratives. From Trapped to Atomic Blonde, Charlize has consistently pushed for creative control and meaningful content. This dual role as actress and producer demonstrates her understanding of the film industry as both art and business. She uses her influence to challenge conventional storytelling, elevate female talent, and ensure that complex, nuanced characters reach audiences worldwide. In addition to her creative influence, Charlize continues to expand her humanitarian reach. CDAOP programs now include digital skills training, HIV awareness campaigns, and workshops on reproductive health. These initiatives equip young people with practical tools to build sustainable futures. Charlize's activism is deeply personal. It reflects her own experiences growing up in South Africa and witnessing the impact of poverty, violence, and limited opportunities. Her work bridges a gap between celebrity influence and community empowerment, demonstrating that fame can be a powerful tool for social good. Before Charlize Theron became a global film icon, her journey began unexpectedly in the world of modeling. As a teenager, her striking appearance caught the attention of agents, leading to early opportunities in Milan and Paris. She worked tirelessly, traveling across Europe and performing in high fashion shows, often spending months away from her family. While modeling offered financial support, it was not her true passion. Charlize viewed it as a stepping stone to something greater, acting. During this period, she faced intense pressure to maintain a certain look and meet industry standards. The modeling world, particularly in the 1990s, was notoriously demanding, with rigid expectations for body image, poise, and adaptability. Charlize navigated these pressures with resilience, learning to adapt quickly to different environments and maintain professionalism under scrutiny. She often recalls how modeling taught her discipline and confidence, skills she would later transfer to acting. However, she quickly realized that modeling alone could not satisfy her creative ambitions. Acting offered the opportunity to explore human emotion, challenge herself physically and mentally, and tell meaningful stories. Her transition from modeling to acting was catalyzed by a serendipitous encounter at a bank in Los Angeles. While trying to cash a check from her mother, she argued passionately with a teller about the transaction. This display of confidence and charisma caught the eye of talent agent John Crosby, who handed her his card. This single moment sparked the beginning of her acting career, proving that opportunities often arise in unexpected places, and that courage and assertiveness can open doors. Charlize's early years in Hollywood were marked by financial struggle and uncertainty. Living in a cheap motel, she relied on a $500 check from her mother as her lifeline. Her first acting jobs, including Children of the Corn 3 and small roles in films like 2 Days in the Valley and That Thing You Do, paid little but taught her the realities of the industry. Despite the challenges, Charlize approached each role with intensity and focus, seeing them as opportunities to learn, grow, and prove her talent. Her breakthrough came with The Devil's Advocate in 1997, where she acted alongside Keanu Reeves. The production was grueling, especially a vulnerable scene that took 14 hours of film. Director Taylor Hackford later described Charlize as one of the bravest actors he had worked with. Although the film was financially successful, Charlize's drive extended beyond box office numbers. She sought roles that allowed her to display emotional depth, complexity, and range. Yet Hollywood continued to offer her limited parts, often emphasizing her beauty over talent. She was frequently cast as the helpless beauty, a trope she was determined to escape. To challenge these perceptions, she auditioned for roles she was initially overlooked for, prepared extensively, and refused to conform to industry expectations. This tenacity ultimately led to critical acclaim and the recognition of her skill as an actress capable of profound transformation. Charlize Theron's career is defined by transformational roles that required physical, emotional, and psychological commitment. Monster 2003 is perhaps the most iconic example, where she portrayed serial killer Aileen Wuornos. To embody Wernos, Charlize gained weight, wore prosthetic teeth, shaved her eyebrows, and adopted the criminal's distinctive mannerisms. She spent months immersing herself in Wernos' life, studying letters, watching interviews, and even hitchhiking to Florida to understand her experiences. The result was a performance that stunned audiences and critics alike, earning her an Academy Award for Best Actress. Her work in Mad Max, Fury Road further demonstrated her dedication to physically demanding roles. In preparation, she trained extensively with ex-military specialists, learned to drive heavy rigs, and performed action sequences in extreme desert conditions. Her commitment to authenticity contributed to Furiosa becoming one of the most memorable female action characters in modern cinema. Despite the physical danger and emotional strain, she maintained discipline and focus, navigating conflicts with co-star Tom Hardy, while ensuring that the production continued smoothly. Charlize's approach to acting combines technical preparation with emotional depth, creating performances that feel authentic and impactful. In Atomic Blonde and The Old Guard, she continued this tradition, training in martial arts, sword fighting, and combat skills while also portraying complex characters with rich emotional lives. Her willingness to perform stunts herself challenges traditional gender norms in Hollywood, proving that women can lead physically demanding films with skill, authenticity, and authority. Charlize Theron's professionalism extends beyond acting. She is also a leader on set, influencing production processes and the work environment. During Mad Max, Fury Road, she navigated intense conditions, including high heat, sandstorms, and physically demanding stunts, while also addressing interpersonal challenges with co-stars. She asked for producer support to ensure her safety and establish boundaries, demonstrating that leadership is not about authority alone, but also about protecting oneself and fostering a safe, productive environment. Her role as a producer further highlights her influence in Hollywood. Through Denver and Delilah Productions, she has championed female-driven stories, sought creative control, and nurtured projects that challenge traditional narratives. This combination of on-screen talent and off-screen leadership distinguishes Charlize as a multifaceted force in the film industry, capable of shaping not only her performances, but also the stories told and the people involved in their creation. The Charlize's humanitarian work is deeply intertwined with her personal experiences. Growing up in a violent household and witnessing her mother's courage inspired her to create lasting change for vulnerable populations. The Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project, CDOP, focuses on youth empowerment, HIV awareness education,